y'all, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to this month's episode of Fillin Station Gourmet. I'm UCM Pigs to do some motovlogging, and in this little series we go and find gas station food, and our main criteria is gas pumps out front and a restaurant inside. Because we're not talking about your just run-of-the-mill 7-Eleven, Circle K type microwave burritos and stuff. We're talking about places that actually have a restaurant inside the gas station. So today we're heading back down to North Carolina, towards North Carolina. We're not going to go into North Carolina. But before I do that, if this is your first time, I appreciate you stopping by. If you're not already a subscriber, why don't you consider doing that? Or at least leave me a like or an emoji or a comment. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you are a subscriber, welcome back. I truly appreciate your support. And you too, leave me a comment, leave me a like, leave me an emoji if you don't feel like typing words. Just let me know you were here. So like I was saying, we're heading back down towards North Carolina. I live right on the Virginia-North Carolina border. And we're heading towards a place we've already gone before. We went down, actually it was episode 1, we went to Stateline and had some barbecue, and Stateline's right across the state line on Highway 168, which if you're not familiar, Highway 168 is the main artery down to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. If you're familiar with the Outer Banks, maybe you vacation down here and you're coming from the north, you go right past these places. We are not going into North Carolina, we are going right to the state line, and we're going to go to the border station. Now, the border station has a restaurant in there, and I totally forgot this place had a restaurant in there. And it's one of my favorite places around here. We have a little sandwich shop in Chesapeake called Mr. Jim's. And Mr. Jim's Pizza and Subs, actually. And Mr. Jim's has a location, not a filling station, but they have their original location in the Great Bridge area of Chesapeake. And they've been there since 1972. So about 50 years, and that means they're doing something right. And I really enjoy Mr. Jim's, and the one thing that I typically always get at Mr. Jim's is a cheesesteak. Now, before all you guys and gals from the Philadelphia area and surrounding areas in New Jersey and stuff, before you all get all up in a wad about, you know, Philadelphia cheesesteaks, you notice I did not say a Philly cheesesteak. It's just a cheesesteak. We all know where the best cheesesteaks come from, and they come from Tony Luke's in Philadelphia, of course. So we're not trying to compare this to a Philly cheesesteak. This is Chesapeake, Virginia, and this is our version of a cheesesteak. Now, the one thing I will say about this area, we're kind of a melting pot for people not just around the world, but around the country, because the largest naval base in the world is just up the road. So we have people from all over. So our food here is pretty legit. We have good Italian food, we have good any regional food, maybe from where you're from. We have somebody here that makes it. Filipino food, Spanish food, but like these American things like cheesesteaks and stuff like that, we have some pretty good cheesesteaks placed down here. So Mr. Jim's, as I said, is one of my favorite places to get a cheesesteak, and I figured, you know what, let's go down and get a cheesesteak, because they have a location at the border station. The main restaurant is closed today, but from looking online, it says the border station one is open. Fingers crossed that it is open, but we're going to go down here and get a cheesesteak. So just a little bit about this location. Very similar to Stateline. Like I said, it is right on Highway 168, right on the state line. I mean, literally. I think in episode 1 when we went to Stateline, I said the state line ran through the store. Not quite. I think the complete store is in Virginia. But it's a very similar setup, very touristy. You can get your t-shirts, you can get some cold beer, you can get some lottery tickets, you can get some smokes, you can get all kinds of stuff down here at the border station, and we'll take a look around and show you guys what it's all about. We're heading down here, getting ready to get on 168, the old 168. And again, if you're familiar with the Outer Banks, maybe you vacation down here. Years ago, this 2-lane highway, Highway 168, also known as Battlefield Boulevard here in Chesapeake, used to be the road. And you could imagine all the people coming down this little 2-lane country road to get to the Outer Banks. I remember the early days when I first moved here. You didn't come down here on a Saturday. So we got behind this dump truck, so it's going to be a slow roll. So as I was saying, you could only imagine if you were vacationing down here, sharing the road with a couple hundred people from, you know, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York, getting stuck behind one of these dump trucks. But this was it. This was the artery. So Saturday is the turnover day in the Outer Banks for most of the vacation rentals. So everybody around here knows to stay away from 168 Saturday mornings. Saturday afternoon, not too bad, but you typically Saturday heading south early morning, and then late morning, early afternoon coming north. It's a nightmare. But they have opened up a 4-lane expressway, and if you have come down in time recently, you're going to get on the new 168, the Chesapeake bypass. It's got a toll on it. We'll talk about that. And you'll scoot down and bypass a lot of this 2-lane nonsense. Now, I would recommend, if you do go that route, and let's say you go ahead and get on the Chesapeake Expressway, the new 168, you're going to see the last free exit. When you pay the toll, you're only actually paying for about a 3-mile stretch. If you get off on that last exit, and there's a Wawa there and a place to stop, maybe you need some gas before you get down or whatever. If you get off there on that last free exit, it's Hillcrest Parkway, come to the original 168 Battlefield Boulevard and just go a 3-mile stretch. It might save you, and I can't remember what the tolls are. They changed in the peak season. I think it goes up to almost $6. You save yourself $6. It's 3 miles. Get off the main road, see some of the local scenery. Maybe get some of this Fillin Station Gourmet. So I'm going to kick back and relax and enjoy this ride. It's my lunch break. We'll get down there and we'll talk a little bit more. All right, looks like we're here. And right up there, that traffic light, I don't know if you guys can see it, that's actually the state line. And here's the border station. So as you can see, we got some, they're not open yet. Memorial Day, they'll start opening up produce stands and things like that out here. But there's a Stuckey's. We're not going to Stuckey's. We're going to go down here to the end to Mr. Jim's. But there we go. Welcome to the border station. All right, so I made it down here to the border station. Back here behind me, it meets our criteria. We got pumps out front, and there's the border station. So we're going to go inside and get us a cheesesteak. So as I mentioned, here we are, border station, and that's the state line right there. There's the state line sign. So the state line runs right along there, and the border station's right over there. So pretty cool little setup here. got here? Plain white wrapper. It's got a half sub. So let's see what we got inside here. A lot of paper. There we go. Just a little cheesesteak. You see inside there. And I just do steak, onions, and cheese. A little American cheese because I'm a whiz with guy. Don't do the provolone. So let's see what this is all about. Can't go wrong with steak, onions, cheese. It's a beautiful day. Enjoying this cheesesteak. I wish you guys were here with me. This month's episode of Fillin Station Gourmet. I appreciate you spending some time with me and going out on my lunch break. I hope you guys enjoyed our little trip down to Mr. Jim's. I sure did. I love a cheesesteak. And like I said, you guys from Philly in that area up there, I get it. I get it. Can't get anything better unless you're in Philly. But down here in Virginia, we do what we can do. So if you're ever on your way down here, maybe going down to the Outer Banks or something like that, think about Mr. Jim's before you stop at some chain. That's a nice local place, and they've got a awesome menu. If you don't like cheesesteaks, they got all kind of subs, pizzas, wings. I even heard a lady order a barbecue slaw dog. That sounds delicious. So be sure and check it out if you're ever on 168 heading south down to the Outer Banks. It's right before you cross into North Carolina into the little town of Moyock. And that's pretty much it. So it is a beautiful spring day here in coastal Virginia. If spring hasn't hit you guys yet, it's coming. It's coming your way. Things are blooming, sun's out, pollen's flying around everywhere. So it's on your bike and it's in your nose. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. Hey, consider like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you do that. I really would greatly appreciate it. And hit that share button if you don't mind. And until we talk again, you guys be careful. You guys be safe. Always keep your shiny side up. And we'll talk to you next time.